Hello viewers, myself R.P. Srivastava with a new topic in economics. The topic is the Ricardian or classical theory of income distribution. Let us start with introduction, having a basic idea about the presumptions of Ricardian or classical theory of income distribution. Ricardo divided the economy into two sectors, that is agriculture and industry, and his model is applicable mainly to agriculture. The forces working in this sector determine the distributive share in industry. So his study is based only upon distribution in agriculture sector, and same was applied for industry. He regarded profit as the necessary incentive for capital accumulation, and he also assumed the operation of the law of diminishing returns in agriculture, and he also assumed that Malthusian law of population will operate. Ricardo discusses the distribution of national income or national output among the three shares of that are rents, wages and profits. However, his theory is based upon two separate principles, the marginal principle and the surplus principle. As I have said, that Ricardian or classical theory of income distribution was based upon two separate principles, the marginal theory of distribution as well as surplus principle. And in this context, H.C. Johnson has rightly said the major advance made by Ricardian theory over the Adam Smithian theory was the application of the marginal principle to the distribution theory. So here, however, Ricardo was one of the pillars of Ricardian economics, classical economics, and of the same category as well as of Adam Smith, but he separates here himself from Adam Smith by using the marginal principle to the distribution theory. Ricardo discusses the distribution of national output among the three shares of that are rents, wages and profits. His theory is based upon two separate principles that I have already said, marginal principle and the surplus principle. The first explains the share of rent in the national output, and the second explains the remaining share between wages and profit. Discuss explanation of the model of distribution. The basis of the model is that any time there is a given stock of wheat available to feed the workers, that is called wage fund by Ricardo. It is to be noted that capital is in the form of wage fund, again in the form of corn, for supporting labor during the production period. So Ricardo considers the form of national output in terms of corn. Thus, capital enters the production process only indirectly. In the short run, the actual wage rate is the fund divided by the number of workers and may be greater or less than subsistence. So here Ricardo talk about actual wage that is decided by the available wage fund, and that is also measured in terms of corn. So what is the actual age and what is the subsistence age will be discussed in later on. For discussing the theory onward, explanation of the distribution model through diagram, please take care or have a view of the previous slide where graph or diagram, two diagrams termed as figure A and figure B is given, and having this graph in mind, we are in position to discuss the Ricardian theory of income distribution properly. So let us explain the graph and have the study of explanatory study of the distribution of classical or Ricardian theory of income distribution or the model involved with it. The number of workers determine the marginal product of labor, and profits are the difference between marginal product of labor and the actual wage rate. As shown in figure A of the previous slide, the wage fund curve is a rectangular hyperbola as shown in the graph. In the long term, however, breeds to the level of subsistence, and the given wage fund in conjunction with subsistence wage determines the number of workers, the marginal product of labor and profit as shown in figure B. OA is the average output of food per worker, and OD is the marginal product of labor, includes profit on the wage fund as shown in graph. OW and OWS are actual and subsistence wage rate respectively, as graph illustrates. OW is equal to real wage and WD is equal to profit per worker. DA represents rent per annum as shown in the graph. Having a view of figure B, we see that total output is equal to OA, B and L, and that is equal to average product of labor multiplied by the total number of labor, and that is equal to ABCD, and that is the rent portion of total output. And OWSENL, that is the total wage, and DCEWS is total profit. So total output is equal to average product of labor multiplied by number of laborers, is divided into three parts, that is ABCD portion of the figure B plus OWSENL, that is the total wage part that's shown in figure B, and DCEWS is the profit part, total profit part, as the figure B shows. So total output is divided in between wages, profits and rent. Here profits are the surplus of total product over wages and rents, and the level of employment is not determined by wage rate and marginal productivity curve of the labor, but the availability of capital stock, that is wage fund, decides the level of employment. So in Ricardian theory, not the marginal productivity curve having its say in decision of total employment, but availability of capital stock, that is called wage fund, decides the total employment possible, and rate of profit is equal to total profits divided by total wages. Here investment being the wage fund or capital stock. So investment is known as wage fund or capital stock, and rate of profit is the ratio of total profit divided by total wages. Conclusively, we can say that agriculture being the foundation of the economy, economic growth in agriculture induced by capital accumulation affects the relative shares of rents, wages and profits in the economy in general and agriculture in particular. Increase in demand for labor will cause the wage rate to rise above the subsistence level, and that encourage the now comparatively well-off workers to marry and breed and thus increase population. So having more wages induced the worker to go for marriage and increase that ultimately increase the available labor force. This will lead to an increase in demand for food but will bring down the wage rate to the minimum subsistence level. According to Ricardo, money rate of profit in manufacturing industry depends upon the corn rate of profit in agriculture. So here Ricardo does not go to have separate study about the distribution of income in industry. He said that a fall in the corn rate of profit in agriculture will bring about a fall in the money rate of profit in this sector as well, that is industrial sector as well. A rise in the price of agricultural output will lead to an increase in the money cost of subsistence level in industry, which will have to pay higher wages to their workers. Unlike agricultural output, industrial output is not corn. The price of industrial goods might not have changed. Moreover, when the profit rate in agriculture has fallen, it must fall in industry as well. Otherwise, capital will move out of the agriculture and into industry. In that way, Ricardo tries to explain the theory of income distribution, however, mainly focus on the distribution in agriculture sector, but take it also as a basis to decide the theory of income distribution in industrial sector as well. Now let us evaluate or critically evaluate the classical or Ricardian theory of income distribution. The main point in this regard are: first, in the absence of technological progress, it presents a gloomy picture of the economy. Secondly, increase in the share of rentiers, persistence of wage around subsistence level, and declining rate of profit, as Ricardo says. Next, diminishing returns in agriculture and in general a tendency towards total stagnation in the economy. It is very simple rather than primitive economy based. So it will be not proper to look the distribution in modern economy on the basis of Ricardian theory of income distribution. With technological revolution, most of the assumptions as well as forecasts have proved wrong. So as we proceed or follow the path of technical advancement, all the assumptions for his income distribution theory as taken by Ricardo and forecast based upon those are proving to be wrong. Nevertheless, some of the Ricardo's basic idea were borrowed by Marx. So, the point here to be taken in account that even though this theory is outdated, but a Ricardian principle is the source of Marxian approach of income distribution. So, nevertheless, some Ricardo's basic idea were borrowed by Marx, and later on, through him, influenced social thinkers even now, as Marxian analysis is an adaptation of a Ricardian principle and philosophy of Marx, and so his theory of distribution income is still influencing social thinkers in day-to-day society and its problem existing even now. This discussion, I have tried my best to explain the Ricardian or classical theory of income distribution, that is a moderation in Adam Smith's analysis as well as the source of Marxian approach of theory of income distribution, and this is all about Ricardian theory of income distribution. Thank you.